Welcome back. We are at Koco's Pub. We are in Lauraville. I'm still learning all my buttons around here. I'm in, I'm out, I'm up, I'm down. We're doing crab cake row. It is a cup of soup or bowl. Love Koco's because I sit here and I look at the bobbleheads. I got a Zach Britton bobblehead, a Chris Davis bobblehead. Get the Chris Davis bobblehead down. Come on. Jonathan Scope, and there's the Oriole Bird who once assaulted me out in Section 84. We're going to get fresh You know what I need to do? I need to get you some of those statues, the Palmer and the Brooks Robinson. We're going to get some statues in here. The Earl Weaver, the Grumpy Earl. Give him a crab cake. Make him happy. We're at Koco's Pub. We're on Harford Road in Lauraville. People don't know where Lauraville is. I'm like, get off on Harford Road. Come toward the city. Look to the left. You'll find us. Big yellow building out in front. They only let nice people in here. It says so out in front. There's a thing out on the door. Mandy Snyder, I think she's nice because she's here from Baltimore Homecoming. I got to give plugs out to all this. First thing, I had Roz here the whole time, and I'm drinking my Royal Farms coffee today that I picked up at Providence Road in my Maryland Lottery mug. And the reason for that is it has a little thing on the top, which allows me to drink my coffee this morning. And this live radio thing does not allow for bathroom trips over or under 2.5 minutes. So like you gotta be quick with all this doing the live radio thing. But our friends at the Maryland Lottery and Roz is here. We're giving away Maryland Lottery scratch-offs. Everybody here at Koco's going to get one. We had a $100 winner the last time we were here. And I feel like Oprah when I do this, so I'm like, one for you. So Mandy Snyder's here from Baltimore Homecoming. Bring some canned goods by. We're here for the Maryland Food Bank. I have my little, I made little sheets up for Marcella to put on the door, but I don't want to put it over the only nice people allowed.
True.
Please donate today. We will accept cash, but we prefer that you bring us some canned goods, some boxes. We have a whole area over here. We loaded a whole bunch of stuff for the St. John's Pantry yesterday at Costas. Monday, we were downtown for Grace and Hope Mission. Today here, we're in, the food is unclaimed today by the Maryland Food Bank today, so I have to figure out where the food exactly is going today. So somebody has a place somewhere in the Lauraville area, Harford Road area, I'll drop it off when the show's over. So, and then Thursday, Maryland Food Bank's back at, as well as Friday. Thursday, we are at State Fair in Catonsville. Friday, we're going to be up at Pappas and Cockeysville. Bring some stuff. We'll give you a cup of soup or bowl because it's a cup of soup or bowl week. We are not on Radio Row. We're on Crab Cake Row. And Mandy's here from Baltimore Homecoming, and I know you're new to the organization.
Yeah.
And I mean, I would probably be a good interviewee for you.
I was going to say.
Because I attended Baltimore Homecoming, not the initial one, the second one.
Okay.
Barry Levinson was one of the speakers. Yeah. Just unbelievable panels. And Angel McCautry came back and sat on a panel. There was like a whole like a Shark Tank thing.
Yeah.
It was at the B&O Railroad Museum. Hi, Chris Holland. Something happened that day that's never happened since.
What's that?
Well, this is crazy.
Uh-huh.
Morning breakfast, I went alone. I got a suit on, you know.
Yeah.
My hair was shorter. It was before the plague, right?
Uh-huh.
So I had regular hair before the plague, right? So I let it down. And I'm there about 7:30 in the morning, having coffee, walking around with my Maryland Lottery mug, and I look over, and there's a pancake bar. Mm-hmm. And they're making pancakes. And I went over, and the dude's like, I can make a pancake of you and your wife.
Okay.
And I'm watching him make people's dogs and stuff. Like,
wow.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're holding pictures up.
It's art.
It's like an easel.
Yeah.
He took my phone and said, send me the picture.
Uh-huh.
He put it up, and I'm going to show you the picture because if I Google the word pancake on my posts,
right.
It's a first. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's see it.
I want everybody to see this first. I want them to see. Can you see that on the screen?
Oh, yeah.
That is my wife and I on a pancake. All right? So I bet you didn't think you were going to get that on the show today,
no,
right?
not at all.
October 17th, 2019.
Yeah.
I said, if Jennifer Ford Aparicio and I were a pancake, this is the kind of flapjack we'd be together. I think she is more of a hot cake myself. So there you have it. There's my wife and my sense of humor. So top that at Baltimore Homecoming. You want to create a memory? You want to create a memory?
Right.
I met Barry Levinson, and my wife and I had a pancake of us made. How about
What could be a better day than that?
Crab cake at Koco's and free soup. Maybe.
That is true. That is true.
So you're tell me what Baltimore Homecoming is, because I would tell them, and I think, but I might get it wrong. I mean, honestly, like it's J.M. Shapiro, Nate Lowenthal, who have been guests on the show out at State Fair when I did the crab cake tour. I mean,
Yeah.
I was promoting this back in 18 and 19
Yeah.
because they had seen this thing in Detroit that
Yep.
was being done where people like Madonna and Eminem and Bob Seger, Baltimore people, Detroit people, celebrities, and business movers and shakers,
Yes. Yeah.
industry moguls, entertainment people like David Rubenstein.
Yeah.
And, right.
Definitely David Rubenstein.
Right. I
Very
mean,
timely.
So that sort of thing is exactly what you do, and I want to get you on mic. But yeah.
Yeah, so what we're really doing is supporting local nonprofits and entrepreneurs within Baltimore and activating a national alumni base and using that alumni base to drive investment and philanthropy back into Baltimore. So Baltimore is a place...
She's not reading from a script. She knows this. This is good.
Oh, thank you. Baltimore is a place, once you grow up here, it is home forever. So if you move away, you really want to continue to give back. And what I think our differentiator is this alumni network and how we can really activate them, engage them, and talk to them about Baltimore. When you hear about Baltimore in the news, what you hear, unfortunately, is a lot of negative things. We know that we live in Baltimore day to day. There is so much potential. The last couple of weeks, there's been such great news with David Rubenstein buying the Orioles. Huge. I think another great thing that's been happening is Care First going in Mondawmin Mall and what Tim Regan and Whiting Turner is doing there. That is changing the dynamic of Baltimore and opening up so many jobs in an area that people really, since the unrest, have kind of forgotten about and think really negatively of. But they are doing such amazing things in revitalizing that area.
3 weeks ago, right? So I mean,
Yeah.
Coppin State, we're near Morgan, and I really feel like a jerk for not bringing some Morgan people over here today. Mars, next time I'm here, we're getting some Morgan State people, all right? So just take a note on that, because we got, it's right, I know, man, Morgan State supports Cocos, man. But here's the problem. It's like Dundalk, and I had all Essex people yesterday, and I'm from Dundalk. That's not what we do, but I'm Coppin. So I'm Coppin supported.
Yeah.
So I just want to give a little grace for the Coppin people, and we'll get them on too. And I have them on all the time. But the big basketball game over there, Christmas time at Coppin.
Yeah.
So I went over there and I went to the basketball game, and there's 2,500 people.
Yeah.
And the two police officers that were here Monday,
right,
that I got knocked off the air on Monday, and I'm going to have them back on because I like those dudes. But Coppin, to me, like when I'm over there, I'm like, this is a way nicer place than anybody would ever imagine, and nobody goes from the out because it's because of that, because of the perception that like I can't go see the second greatest or greatest, depending on your opinion.
They're all
Angel
good.
Reese. Angel Reese played there for LSU, and she's a great player. Caitlin Clark played down at Maryland the other night. But to come see like this legendary Baltimore athlete play, the whole world wanted to be there that night.
Totally.
It was week before Christmas, and I thought I wanted to be, like it was just an awesome place. And I've shopped at back in the day, like everybody else.
Yeah.
I want to see that, and I've seen that as security. I talked about Trade Point in Dundalk all day yesterday because I was in Dundalk. Right. And we've been talking about the Inner Harbor. I lived at the Inner Harbor for 19 years. Right? So I'm the guy that bitches about buying a condo for $430,000 and selling it for $390 20 years later after putting $250,000 into it. Right? Right.
Yeah.
I mean, so I want better things for the city, and I know, because I spent time with JM and I spent time. And I've been at your events, and I've been at your mixers, and I've seen the kind of people they're trying to bring together. It's really like a beautiful idea. It's a great concept to say, you're a Baltimore alum, you're here forever, and let's stay connected, because you don't want to hear people talk ish about Baltimore.
No, and Baltimoreans are sometimes the hardest on ourselves. We're the one that perpetrates it, and how can we, as Baltimore Homecoming, really start to share the local and national positive news around Baltimore in a way that those that have moved away are seeing, wow, there's so much potential. There is so much investment going back into the city. Why don't I bring my business here? Or why don't I learn a little bit more about how I can give back to the community? Because the time is now for Baltimore. It is really on this trajectory in such a positive way.
If you can't see that, you're blind.
100%.
I mean, if you don't go down to CFG Bank Arena and see that that's there, if you're not seeing the businesses that have survived this, like Koco's, like Fadley's moving into a new space, it's going to be beautiful. My friends at Amici's, I'm just plugging my friends, and not even like my sponsors so much, but like Ekabin and these beautiful places that are coming to life that give you a reason. I was talking about Craven Ekabin, like I get in the car and drive down there just to get broccoli. I mean, that's how much I love it. And we all need to lift it. We can't just be hanging out in Joppatown and Cockeysville and Westminster and saying, I hate the city. You ain't going to hate it when the Orioles get you right.
That is very true.
I mean, you're going to come down and you're going to find that there's more to it than parking your car in a parking lot and going into the stadium and giving them too much money. And I don't say that. I still have such a negative, like, God, it's been an awful 31 years, you know, with these people. But go down and give them money too. But I am of the era of people coming down, eating at Phillips, eating at Morton's, going to Roost Chris, walking the harbor, making a whole afternoon, drinking at the bars afterward, going to Hooters or Baja Beach Club, whatever it was when we were younger.
Yeah.
Before the game, after the game, there was a plan, there was a place to go, and there wasn't this, something bad's going to happen to me if there's nothing else down there. This city's awesome, man. This city's awesome.
It is, and it's really becoming this space for business at the same time. Entrepreneurship, tech, there's so many things here that when we're talking to our alumni and they're looking for another branch of their organization or where they're looking to start something up, Baltimore's a great place to do it. That is such an opportunity to be able to do that.
We built the whole city down in Port Covington for this.
Definitely.
Baltimore Peninsula. I'm not calling it that. I'm just letting you know.
That's okay.
I'm not calling it that.
I'm not going to fight you on that battle.
I'm not.
Yes.
That's it.
That's okay.
It's like calling Dundalk Essex. We don't do that around here. You know, old school. How's Nate? How's James? Give me a little founder thing, because those guys, I don't want to say made guys, but they come from some affluence and have some ability to affect that sort of thing.
Yeah.
They were true philanthropists. They don't need to be doing this, right? I mean, this was their choice to come together and do this. And I wondered, like, where it's going to be after the plague and a lot of things, and saying, all right, but they don't seem like the kind of guys that are ever going to quit on Baltimore Homecoming.
No,
not
at all.
I sense that this is like, it's like me quitting on the Orioles. Like, I was never going to quit on them. You know what I mean?
I'm saying with you with the Orioles.
Like, Free the Birds wasn't going to die. I went out to Drug City last week with my wife, and I'm bragging about this all week because I'm doing live radio, and I want everybody to know. I went to Drug City, and this started with Wendy Bronfine from Curio Wellness and Foreign Daughter. I asked her, like, last week, because she was on the Wednesday morning after the Tuesday night news, and I was like giddy. It was like 9 in the morning. Like, Wendy, is there a champagne of cannabis? Whatever the champagne of cannabis is.
Let's celebrate.
She's like, Blissful Wizard. And I'm like, all right. But I said, I don't really like champagne because it gives me a hangover, like it's bubbly. I like the taste of it, but I don't want to drink too much of it. And I thought, I really love me a red wine, but I'm a $16, $20 bottle of wine. You know,
sure.
I mean, I'm from Dundalk, you know. But every once in a while, Marvin Lewis or Sammy Hagar buys me like some nice wine, and I have tasted $100 wine 10 times in my life. Right? You know what I mean? Like when somebody else bought it. Right? Thank you to all of you who have been more wealthy than me and give me good wine. So at least I know the difference. Why do people spend so much? Because they're really good.
Yeah.
Right? But I've been to Byrne Steakhouse. It's like $85,000 for a bottle of wine. Like, no.
Nothing's wrong with it coming in a box either.
Listen, man, I've got an addiction to Pacifica belt buckle, so I'm going to show my village people belt buckle later. But I bought a bottle at Drug City, great liquor store. My love to George. I saw Chuck last night at Costas, and I got a bottle of The Prisoner. $59.99. That's my investment in the Rubenstein ownership.
There you go.
The minute it happens, I'm going to uncork it, and I'm going to unleash The Prisoner.
There you go.
The Prisoner is going to be free.
Right. There you go.
And I'm going to drink a really good glass of Cabernet or a red blend. So Mandy Snyder's here, Baltimore Homecoming. I asked you about Nate and Jamie. I didn't give you a chance to expand. I'm being crazy.
Yeah, no, I mean, they are so committed to this. And to your point, they don't have to do this, but they want to. It's an area that they grew up in. And again, wanting to invest and give back in ways that we really can. And what we're doing Baltimore Homecoming's in this next phase. We've been able to throw these amazing parties, bring amazing alumni back. But how do we build off of that? Baltimore Homecoming, that event, that's our signature event. That's not
October still?
We're doing it every 18 months. So that was a change. So we're going to be May 2025.
This
May or
is
April.
where the learning part comes in. You're like, I'm new. Don't ask me the tough questions. I'm like, the only questions I have is I know where it was.
Yes.
I know what all the intentions were. I have the pancake.
Yeah, right.
Right? But where? What's the next thing? And what? And I want to get up with Jam and Nate. And like, what's been learned here?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know how many people out in our audience even know about it. I mean, I did a couple of segments 5-6 years ago with Don Moeller over at State Fair.
Yeah.
I bragged about it and put pictures up and tried to talk it up because I think it's beautiful. I mean, it's a freaking all-star team for Baltimore. I mean, that's the whole idea is to build this consortium of people that we've been unable to build here when the banking industry fell apart, when the steel mills fell apart, when Dundalk fell apart, right? When we didn't know what we were and where we were going. Then we had civil unrest, a plague, horrific leadership in this. I mean, like, horrific baseball owner. Like, just all of these things conspired to, like, and then crime, and then poverty, and all the race, all the things that were fundamentally wrong and broken about us in the 60s. They came back 50 years later. How do we, pick ourselves up from that? And it's going to take great people with extra income and philanthropy and a vision and a strategy.
Yeah.
And to give people a how and a why.
Totally, and I think that's what we're really looking to do in this next phase is continue to build out our programming so that we can really be able to support our local people that are really the ones that are making a difference and making impact with leading their nonprofits and building their businesses that are going to be able to trickle down. But then that's a way that we can really start this engagement opportunity, get our alumni excited. If they're having this expertise, which we know a lot of these alumni do, let's connect them here locally. Let's bring them around. Let's build programmatic pieces. Let's travel to them. We're going to be doing regional gatherings going across the country, LA, Detroit, New York, Florida, going to meet them and being able for me to sit down with them one-on-one and talk about what are you interested in Baltimore? How can we really make that connection? And again, drive that investment, drive that philanthropy back into the city. We're really doing it kind of twofold where we're supporting locally as kind of the direct piece, but there's this indirect opportunity that is so vast and there's so many things that could really be. And we have people that are on our alumni base ready to get engaged that have sold their company for millions or billions of dollars that are really now, what can they do to give back?
They're golfing in Florida and they're pissed that Baltimore's gone into disrepair and they maybe for a while felt like, I can't do anything. I sneak in, I get a crab cake when I'm there, and I see the family during whatever holiday or whatever reason, death. I mean, people come back for, choice or need, right? One way or the other. Sick parent. I have a friend who moved his parents to Miami. Who came back. But they're gone forever. They're not going to live in Baltimore anymore, right? I mean, our football owner's a great. He's not going to live here anymore, right? The baseball owner was off in Nashville famously.
Yeah.
When the people who own the stuff here abandon it, that's a problem for me, right?
Yeah.
But the people that leave, you're fully within your right to go live in Arizona if it fits your life. But you have roots here, and if you care enough to say I'm an Orioles fan, I'm a Raven fan, I love Baltimore, and you wear a hat that says Baltimore on it, and people ish upon you because they see The Wire, right? And that we're washing that out, but it is going to take those people to care and come back, as well as the people here, right?
Totally. And I think we're having those conversations with them where they're seeing that opportunity. That's why I think there's such a focus on the marketing, the e-newsletters that we're doing, the news that's going out and sharing it to them that they're seeing there is so much opportunity. And that perception's changing, and they're getting ready and wanting to give back and do more. Yes, you can live wherever you want, but people do come home to Baltimore, and they love the opportunity to be able to come.
They want a stronger Baltimore when
they
come
want
home.
a stronger Baltimore, too. It is part of your DNA. Baltimore is one of the areas when you ask, where'd you go to school? It's high school. That's what people are asking for you. It is Baltimore. It is Baltimore.
I went to Dundalk.
There you go.
Where'd you go?
Went to Hammond.
All right. So
Howard County.
Koco. All
yeah.
right.
But I've been living in the city for over a decade now, so I'm back in here.
I knew some Hammond grads. I knew some Hammond teachers.
Okay.
I don't know how old. I think you're younger, too young to have been taught by Bobby Nick, but he taught there years ago.
Yeah.
Spanish, and he's a Spanish teacher. But yeah, he's a basketball coach.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, late great Bobby Nick. My heart to him. I honored him last week with the Nice Guy Awards. Today we're going to honor Harvey Myers. I have my Village People belt buckle on here from the 70s. We're going to sing the YMCA. Marcella's here. We're Koco's. Mandy Snyder's our guest. She is from Baltimore Homecoming. BaltimoreHomecoming.com. Tell people where to go and get more all the info on that.
Yeah. If you go to BaltimoreHomecoming.com, we have our website there. All of our socials are on it, and our contact information. If you want to learn more, we're really excited. We were just kind of doing some internal planning this week, talking about the calendar from now into 2025 to our spring event, which will be April, May next year. So we'll have some more information about that.
So you're a year out on the next event. The last event was 6 months ago.
On our signature event, yes.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So we just had our last signature event in October. Our next one will be spring 2025. We're planning out now, again, more of our regional events that we're doing where we're traveling, and then also ways that we can engage outside of the big, huge party, the big event that we do. What are some other ways throughout that we can really engage people in Baltimore throughout the year on a little bit of a smaller scale, but a great way to invite alumni back, engage with those that are doing the great work in the community, opportunity to invest in other businesses and really make that difference.
I would say the ask here for you on your behalf is if anybody knows anybody who is out of town and does have a love of Baltimore, an interest of Baltimore. They don't need to be wealthy or rich. They just need to have some influence and care to be involved. And they come back to Baltimore and they consider Baltimore home. If they're displaced, if they're retired, if they want to donate, if they want to donate their time, their energy, their muscle, their relationships, which is the most the Rolodex is the most important thing.
Just have a conversation. Just have a conversation.
Find them at Baltimore Homecoming. Mandy's here. Thanks for coming by.
Thanks so much
Appreciate
for having
you, man.
me.
I could sit here and go all day with. I mean, I'd start you if I went down the Howard County Trail, Meriwether, and like all that.
Sure.
I'm sure we could do that. But so a year out, next thing you're doing, what's the next event people could engage with in some way?
We're still finalizing that calendar, but yeah,
All right.
Next way to engage is reach out to us and have a conversation. We'd love to talk to you more.
All right, send the founders back to talk to me next time.
Will do.
Tell them I got a legit crab cake for them somewhere. This is Crab Cake Row. It is an extension of our Maryland Crab Cake Tour. It is all brought to you by the Maryland Lottery. I would give Mandy a Maryland Lottery 10 times the catch. She already has one.
I do.
So one per person. They're kind of shiny like my belt buckle, my Village People belt buckle here today. We're Koco's. We're in Lauraville in beautiful Harford Road. Just get off on Harford Road, come south. If you're in the city, come north. You'll find us. A big yellow building here on the corner. Delicious crab cakes. They ship them all over the world. They do it real clean and seamlessly. You click and the crab cakes show up and they're as big as my head. They do a special 11-ounce crab cake. I'm going to let Marcella tell a story about her mother, who I knew, and Harvey Myers, who we used to go and party with up at the Emerald Tavern 32 years ago. We lost Harvey since the last time Marcella and I got together, so it's probably going to be the first time I cry in this segment today. Over-unders 2 a day. I was a little over on Monday,
Okay.
a lot over yesterday.
Got it.
So we'll see how it goes. I'm not going to cry when Luca or Sid get here because they're going to tell me the Orioles got sold, and that's going to make me laugh. I may cry from that. I haven't cried tears of joy
I was
yet.
going to say, that's
would
a
that
positive
cancel it
way.
back? Maybe it brings me one back.
Definitely.
Yeah, okay. So big thanks to Baltimore Homecoming. Big thanks to everybody this week who's donated to the Maryland Food Bank. Cash is accepted, but we're taking like the dry foods, the canned goods, all that good stuff, sending it out to local pantries. Yesterday was the St. John's Pantry. Monday it was the Grace and Hope Mission, which I love that segment. I went home to my wife. I'm like, I did like 18 segments today. And she's like, what's your favorite one? I'm like, I met this little silver-haired lady who looked like my mother and sounded like my aunt, and who they both have been dead for a long time, and she had a southern accent, and she was a legitimate mission lady. She was right out of Guys and Dolls, ringing the bell. She has worked at Grace and Hope Mission for 48 years, and I've driven past Grace and Hope Mission 10 million times on Gay Street because it was the thoroughfare for 20 years past City Hall to get to 83 where they have the farmers market. And I thought it was like just a sign. I thought it was a sign left over from a foreign time. And it is alive and well every single 5 nights a week. They do it there. So I'm learning stuff, right? I mean, so we're having some fun. The Maryland Food Bank has been a part of that, and the Maryland Food Bank gives them the food.
Yeah,
so the food
great.
the food at Fadley's went there.
That's amazing.
And she was appreciative, and she made me cry, and it was wonderful. Maryland Food Bank is going to be here at the end of the day today, tomorrow. Thursday, we are at State Fair in Catonsville. Friday, we're at Pappas in Cockeysville. Come on out, participate. I'll give you a free lottery ticket. And I'm pretty clever. A cup of soup or bowl. So I want you to say that really fast 3 times. A cup of soup or bowl. That was the whole idea. It is the big games this week. I don't know if you know. There's a big game this week.
There is.
We broadcasted for 27 years from the big game. We were uninvited this week, so I decided to do something for a really good cause. And
Love
you
it.
know what? And you know what? Let me urinate upon Las Vegas before the segment's over because I love doing this in live real time. It is currently 41 degrees en route to 48.
Okay.
And beautifully sunny. It's a beautiful day here in Baltimore. It's a beautiful February day. If you were in Las Vegas right now, 44 degrees.
Okay.
Headed to 54 degrees.
Okay. All right.
And you'd lose all your money anyway. The stuff's overpriced. And Taylor's not even there yet. You know what I mean? Taylor's in Japan.
I want the Ravens there more than Taylor. Next year.
You're young, though. You're a Taylor girl.
I appreciate what she's done. Great businesswoman.
You know what this look, old fart like me still remembers John Wayne because I walk like him right now. It was always Stones, Beatles, right? John, Howie, Beatles, Stones, right? Or it was like Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, or the Zeppelin, The Who, right? So you have these rivals, Connors or Borg, Martina or Chris, whatever it is. The rivals part of this is still, it's like Ravens, Steelers, and all that. It's like who's got the best crowd? I like it all like that. So I'll take a break. I got to stop talking and get John in here. John's here from the Y. Marcella's here from Koco's. Maryland Food Bank is here ready to take stuff, and we have a cup of soup or bowl, and it's a cup of Super Bowl week. It's Crab Cake Row. Thank you for coming by.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, see? She was worried that she didn't have the answers to the questions. I always tell people, I just ask the questions. You provide the answers. Back for more. Big appreciation at Baltimore Homecoming. Come see us over here at Koco's.